Hello everyone. I want to take a few minutes and go over the upcoming research paper with you that is a high stakes paper and it's worth 20% of your grade. So this requires you to put a lot of time into it, a lot of effort. It's our final assignment of the semester and I'm giving you plenty of time to complete it. You cannot hand it in late because I have to read all of the papers and submit the grades on a timely basis when the semester is concluded. So this paper is going to ask you to research a problem in our society that affects everyone, but also affects marginalized communities, which we've been studying this past semester. The topics range from the environment to domestic abuse. You can find the topics on the handout in the documents folder, and under those topics, there's subtopics, and you're going to choose one of those subtopics to write your research paper on, which needs to be 4 to 5 pages long. So, I guess the setup for the paper is as follows. You're going to write an introduction. Remember to grab your reader's attention, hook me in, make me want to read it. Then you're going to give some background information about the topic you choose, and then preview your ideas for your body paragraphs. This essay should consist of 3 body paragraphs. The first body paragraph, you're going to discuss how this issue affects society as a whole. So you'll come up with 3 ways that it affects society and give examples. The second paragraph you're going to devote to how this issue affects a marginalized community of your choice. So it could be the Native Americans that we've been studying. It could be the Hispanics that we've been reading about in the Book of Unknown Americans. It could be any marginalized community of your choice. And again, you're going to write about how this issue affects this particular marginalized community, give 3 examples, and cite evidence. The next paragraph, you're going to offer solutions to this problem. So come up with 3 solutions that you feel are feasible and expand on those. And the last paragraph, you're going to write a conclusion, and the requirements for that conclusion you can find in your documents folder. It's a little bit different than tying up your ideas that you've already written about. It's about referring to what you've learned this semester about resistance and survivance, and how that also was depicted in your research paper. So read those guidelines and requirements in your documents folder. We're so lucky to have an embedded librarian working with us this semester. Her name is Vicki Torelli, and I will be posting PowerPoints about MLA and the QCC databases, as well as videos that she's created next week. Professor Torelli is really, really lovely, very approachable, and she welcomes your emailing her to set up an appointment with her if you have any questions about the MLA format or QCC databases. If you have questions or concerns about the content of your paper, of course, you'll email me and we'll set up a time to work together. When you're doing the research for this paper, just keep in mind, it's like you're a detective. You're finding as much evidence about the topic of your choice as possible. And then you're like a lawyer. You're taking that evidence and building your case. You're taking that evidence to support your thesis of the paper. Maybe you've gathered a lot of research. You only need to use 3 sources for this paper. Maybe you've read 7 sources and gathered some research that you were thinking would be perfect for the paper. But then when you're writing it, you realize it doesn't really work properly. That's okay. Toss that research, right? Have more than enough before you start writing, and it's okay to get rid of some of it. For a research paper, you do not use I. You don't put yourselves in the paper. You don't state, I'm going to write about or I think about. It's all about your research. It's not about your own ideas. You want to use proper grammar. You want to make sure that you use the quotations perfectly. IQI, introduce, quote, and interpret. You want to paraphrase. And you want to make sure your grammar's correct. Let's try to really focus on our punctuation. I don't want to see a lot of comma splices in this paper. I've given you plenty of time to work on it. Don't procrastinate. This is not something that you can get done overnight. I look forward to reading them. I look forward to helping you, and just put forth as much effort as possible as you finish the semester. Thanks.